Hey there, my fellow energy alchemists and wondrous wizards of shifting energy. Let's talk today about creative fatigue. I just heard about this term. I'd never heard of it before. And so, of course, I dowsed, and I have it. And if you're a creator like I am, whether you're an author, an artist, you post on social media, sometimes people who work in creative functions for their employers can get this creative fatigue. Let me really quickly tell you what Google says about it. Creative fatigue, it's a state of mental exhaustion, burnout, or decreased performance resulting from overworking creative muscles or exposing your audience to the same content repeatedly. It manifests as a lack of motivation, brain fog, and reduced output in individuals. No one should have to suffer in emotional distress when it's so easy to clear out. So creative fatigue, now that we know what it is, let's get rid of it. I like to clear things out by clearing the governing vessel meridian, which runs from the bottom of our torso up to here. The conception vessel meridian, which is the largest female version of the governing vessel meridian. Conception vessel meridian runs from the front of our torso, all the way up to here. You can tap here. You can just clear the governing vessel meridian. And that seems to clear everything, and it's so easy to do. The best thing to do, though, if you know exactly why you have creative fatigue, what's bothering you the most, is to focus on that and do that. General clearings don't always work that well. They may clear some of your creative fatigue, but not all of it, and it's going to come back and start building up again, so just get rid of it. So, I'll show you how I douse for creative fatigue. I use muscle testing. Other people use dowsing rods and pendulums. I have those too, but I like muscle testing because I can do it very quickly and it's quite accurate. I ask a question, bring my hands together, and somehow it just started happening. No answer, yes answer. I don't even have control over it, just boom, boom, boom. Because I'm completely not focused on anything other than the question. I'm focused on what I want to know. And if you start doing muscle testing or dowsing, that's a key thing, is people will focus on the answer that they want or the possible answers, and they'll get wrong answers because they weren't focused on the question. So let's just check here. Okay, dowsing source. This is very important. Do you know what creative fatigue is? Did you know yesterday? No, because we just found out about it today. Do you know how to get rid of creative fatigue? Dowsing source. I just heard focus on the fears. I always focus on 5 fears that screw us all up, and they cover pretty much everything. It's a fear of failure, a fear of not being safe, a fear the bad times will never end, a fear of rejection or abandonment, and a fear of the consequences of success. And I know, I just heard intuitively, it's a huge fear of the consequences of success. When you're really doing well and your channel goes viral and you got to keep pumping out all of the videos or whatever you happen to be doing, at work, in projects, creative ideas coming out. You feel stress and strain. You love doing it, but you're feeling the consequences of so much success. They load more and more on your plate, or you load more and more on your plate for what you're doing. So it can also happen if you have too many clients coming your way, along with burnout and overwhelm. So creative fatigue, we have it. We have creative fatigue about making videos, about posting on social media. Is it because I post so often and so much, coming up with new ideas, what to say to make it appealing to people so they can heal themselves? Okay. I'm bringing all this up so you might feel for yourself your own version of creative fatigue. You also might have the fear of failure to come up with creative ideas and continue your popularity online or at work or wherever this is going on, right? The fear of not being safe is if you don't come up with enough ideas or creativity, or your creativity just stops like that. You could have a fear that you're not safe because what are you going to do if you don't have any more ideas or you don't have any more good ideas? The fear that the bad times will never end often comes when you're just so overloaded and work just keeps coming at you and you just can't seem to get it all done. Or even worse, and this includes people who do psychic readings and intuitives and energy healing and stuff. Sometimes, and it's the scariest thing, our creativity, known as our intuition, it seems like it stops. Or you're talking to someone, you're doing a reading for them live, and boom, there's like a barrier put up. You can't read them. That's terrifying. It's happened to me. So the other one is fear of rejection or abandonment, that your creative ideas will not be accepted, perhaps as they were or never, and you've only had mediocre success. And then, of course, the fear of the consequences of success, that with success brings terrible things, including attacks online or people criticizing your work, right? So those are things to trigger your thoughts about what could be bothering you if you're not a dowser, right? And you can't ferret out from your subconscious mind the fears, and I'll show you how I do it. My creative fatigue is fear of failure, fear of not being safe, fear the bad times will never end, fear of rejection or abandonment, fear of the consequences of success. Okay, now I'm just going to do something I haven't been doing lately, is check the severity level of these fears. The subjective units of distress scale, also called the SUDS, SUDS, is what people apply, medical workers apply when you're in pain, like at the emergency room, or God forbid some horrible trauma on the street or something, and the ambulance comes for you and the paramedics. They ask you on a scale of 0 to 10 or 1 to 10, how severe is your pain? So I'm going to do this now for me. The severity of the creative fatigue I'm feeling now is level 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, that's not that bad, but not very good either. So what I do to clear the governing vessel meridian is go like this. You can go like this, or you could spin a pendulum, or a necklace, or your hand, like this, to the left to clear, to the right to instill affirmations or good energy. Just going to do this now. I'm going to do it for all of us, okay? Not just my particular instance. With the goodness, grace, and glory of our Creator, of the big energy, as George Carlin used to call it, I now release all creative fatigue for everyone who's watching this video at any time, any place, any situation. And we release this creative fatigue, and as if it was a table, sitting on top of the table, and we release the legs of the table, right? So it collapses down. The legs of the table being all the fears. We release all of our fears now of failure, to come up with creative ideas consistently, constantly, really good ones. And we know that if we don't have our good ideas coming our way creatively, well, what are we going to do, right? I don't know. Also release all of our fears now of not being safe if we don't come up with our creative ideas all the time and we're getting tired, maybe of just the same repetitive actions day after day. Releasing our fears, it's never going to get any better, that the bad times are never going to end. Perhaps if we're in I call it a slump, I guess, but when you're just blocked and you can't come up with something, or the stuff you come up with sucks. Been there, done that. Yep. I expect you have too. Also clearing out now our fears of rejection and abandonment for our creative projects, that people are just not going to want them, not going to be interested, or even worse, say nasty things online about us, bad book reviews, nasty posts on our videos, things like that. Just let go of those fears. People have no idea how much time and effort we put into this stuff, right? But fellow creators do. And that might even be something you might want to consider. I've done that. Talking with other creators. You know, pretty much we share almost identical experiences when it comes to this stuff. So it's good to express yourself and let people tell you about their issues with creativity and creative fatigue and yours. Releasing now all of our fears that with every success comes more expectations, comes consequences. I remember a long time ago in the 80s, I was talking to one of the top software engineers in our company. I was just in awe of him. And I told him, I just got an award for this project I was working on. And he goes, yeah, good luck. And I'm like, I thought you'd be a little happier for me because we worked together on the project. And he goes, are you kidding? He goes, the better you get, the more stuff they expect you to do. It's like they give you an award and then expect 2, 3, 4 times as much work, and on the weekends and late nights and stuff. And I'm like, what? Well, he was right. If you've had that experience, let's clear that out. With each success comes consequences. With each award comes consequences. Letting all this go now. Oh, yeah, that's so good. Now, if any specific situations like the one I just talked about in software engineering, these memories come up, that is your subconscious mind telling you that's a clue. You absolutely should investigate further and just even doing this kind of release for that specific situation, which I released from that situation I just told you about. Feeling under the pressure and stress of being so good at what you do. And you got to keep going. You got to keep making things. Got to keep creating things. Because that's what they expect. And people will leave. Viewers will leave. Fans will fall off. Followers will unfollow. Just letting all that go. It's time to trust in the ability to let go and just accept whatever happens, happens. Because the more you worry about it, the more nasty stuff you're putting out there. Like they say, praying for something bad to happen, right? Oh, I just got another huge release. I hope you did too. I hope you're having a good time watching this. So now, I'm just going to check real quickly. Dowsing source, do you know the severity of my creative fatigue at this very moment of all the fears that we identified a few moments ago? Okay, we're at level 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Woohoo! Huzzah! Okay. If you don't know how to douse, all you have to do is focus on something that you feel, even the creative fatigue, but like the overwhelm, the lack of motivation, just feeling so sad and tired and worn out and mentally drained, physically drained. Think about that, and if you feel still a little emotional charge, just clear it out again. I release all remnants and leftover energies of this creative fatigue now. I choose to recharge, rebalance, realign my mental energy and stability to 100% effectiveness and functionality. I recharge, rebalance, realign my physical stability and my high physical energy to 100% effectiveness and functionality. I reset my emotional baseline to creative bliss, creative joy, sparks of creativity, creative passion. It's all mine again. I'm putting it back in. Putting it back in. Just like that. Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? Oh, my goodness. Woo! Woo! I feel like I'm just going to explode with passion and bliss. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching this far. Remember, you're a treasure, and what's coming through you creatively is to be shared with everyone who you can help. You're so valuable, and you're beloved, and I love you too. Peace out. Namaste. Get 10 free chapters of my Fearless Accurate Dowsing book on my website, emorescue.com. There's also links to all my Amazon books and other interesting information. Thank you.